Okay. Last session, what we discussed. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So we have discussed about a list. So a list is a container data type which is going to hold heterogeneous data elements. So a list is always represented using a set of square brackets. So a list can be accessed using both positive indexing and negative indexing. Positive indexing always starts from 0 to n minus 1 and negative indexing always starts from minus 1. Okay. So here, whenever we want to access the elements of a list, whenever you say student of 0 means the 0th element will be displayed here. Similarly, whenever you say 0 to 2 elements, the 0th element and first element will be displayed. Whatever the last index specified, it is exclusive. That means 0 and 1, only 2 elements are displayed here. Similarly, for the third statement, whenever you say student of 2 colon means the index value 2 from 2 to rest of the list will be displayed. 2 to the end of the list will be displayed. Similarly, for this statement, student of colon 3 from beginning of the list till 3 means second element will be displayed. So in this case, the 0th element is 556, 1 is Mary, 2 is 84. So till 84, the elements are displayed. So till the second element, the contents are displayed. Whenever you say student of colon, so the whole list will be displayed right from starting to ending. For the next case, student of minus 1, here the negative indexing always starts from the rightmost element. So 84 will be your rightmost element. So 84 is given minus 1, 75 is given minus 2, 84 is given minus 3, and so on. Minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, and minus 7 is your 556 in this example. So whenever you say student of minus 1, the last element of the list, that is 84, will be displayed. Whenever you say student of minus 1, minus 7, minus 1. So this will be your Viva question. So whenever you want to access the elements in reverse order, this is the way you can access the elements in the reverse order. So your list will start from minus 1 till minus 7. Okay. I have sent you the PPT of the module 2 to both the CRs. Is it understood or you want me to repeat again?
Ma'am, last one, ma'am.
Last one, yes. So this one, we are using here negative indexing. If we give this statement, it will be displaying the list in reverse order. So minus 1, 7 is your list length of the list. So it is minus 1 till minus 7. And if you give only minus 1 and minus 7, an empty list will be displayed. You can check. Parallelly, you can check. Only if you give this minus 1, then only the list will be reversed and displayed. Is that okay?
Ma'am, if last minus 2?
If it is minus 2, means we will be start. I think it will not work. Please try.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. So using list, we can also use a range function. You know range function. We have used this range function in your for loop. Range will be taking the starting index and also the end index. Always the list of the values will be displayed start index till end index minus 1. So you can give here list of range of 0, 11, and by default the step count, that is your increment, will be done by 1. So whenever you say list of range of 0, 11, you can display all the integers from 0 till 10. Okay, so this is the way you can use range function in your list. Okay, so here number is your list, and in this list we are trying to create a list using a range function. And here we are printing the list. That is, the name of your list is numbers. So whenever you print this list, you will be getting the output from 0 to 10. Is that okay? Similarly, whenever you want to display the set of even numbers from 0 to 10, using a range function inside a list, we will be giving numbers is equals to list of range of 0, 11, and the step count is your 2. 2 means the increment will be done for every, it will be, the increment is done plus 2. Is that okay? So it will be the output displayed whenever you want to display the contents of your list numbers. So the output is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Here the increment is 2 because you have explicitly specified the step count to be 2. In the previous case, you did not specify anything. It implies that by default, the step count is 1. Is that clear? Can I move on to the next slide? Yes or
ma'am.
no? Why only 54 people joined? Someone said it is repeat. You want me to repeat the same slide or the previous one? Please respond. Someone said repeat. It is A0. A0, are you there?
Slide change అయ్యింది ma'am.
So you want me to repeat this slide or the previous one?
He was saying about previous one, ma'am.
He was saying about the previous one. A0, are you there or not? A0, are you there?
Yes ma'am.
Yeah. So you want me to repeat this slide? Student of 0, how to display the, how to access the elements of the list?
Oh ma'am, continue the class. No.
Okay, fine. So now you know how to use a range function using a list. Okay, by giving, if we don't specify the step, it will be the step count will be 1. If you specify, you can here specify the step count. If it is 2, the increment will be done by 2. If it is 3, the increment will be done by 3. So here there are 2 lists, and this is here we are going to concatenate these 2 lists by giving x plus y. Whenever you use this operator plus, we'll be able to concatenate these 2 lists. Okay, so whenever you say x plus y, these 2 lists are here joined. You can see the 2 lists are joined. So the resultant list will be holding 10 elements. Okay. Similarly, whenever you say x, this asterisk, whatever we are giving, it is a repetition operator. And whenever you say print x into 2, that means all the elements of the list x will be repeated 2 times. So whenever you want to display that list will be displayed. That means it will be repeated 2 times. So whenever you say here 3, the contents of the list will be displayed thrice. Is that clear? Can I move to the next slide? So this is your concatenation of list and also the repetition of the list. Is that okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Ahmad, are you there? Here, see, please, you just concentrate on this example. I have taken here 2 lists, L1 and L2. Okay, so there are different methods which you can apply on these 2 lists. So whenever I say max of your list L1, the whatever the maximum element is present in that list L1 is displayed here. You can see here the list L1 has 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 elements. Similarly, list L2 has 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 elements. So here you have 2 lists, and whenever you say max of L1, here the L1 list, what is the maximum item? So that 5 is displayed here. Are you able to make it? Yes. Similarly, you can make use of the function minimum on list 2. So the minimum value in list L2, it is 2. So that is displayed. Similarly, you have one more function sum. Whenever you say sum of L1, all the elements of the list L1 are summed up and the sum is displayed here, that is 14. Similarly, you have one more function called length. Whenever I say length of L1, the length of your list is displayed here. Why here the length of the list is 4, whereas the length of the list is 5 here? Any guess?
L of 0 is deleted.
Yeah, exactly. So in the previous operation, I have deleted del L1 of 0. So whatever the list L1, the 0th index is your element 1. That element is deleted here. That is the reason whenever I am trying to display the length of L1, the length is displayed here 4. Is that clear? Muhammad, why you are laughing? I don't know what is happening. Are you in the class? I want you to respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So you are in the class. I want you to share your screen, please.
Ma'am, you disabled, ma'am. I can't share.
I disable you.
No, yes, ma'am, you disabled everyone on screen sharing.
Okay.
Only host can share the screen.
Only host can share the screen.
Okay, okay, fine. Please be in the class. I
Yes,
I
ma'am,
am
I am in the
seeing you
class.
laughing. I don't know what's happening at your end. Fine. Back to the class. So now you have maximum function, minimum function, sum and length functions, which you can apply them on your list. Similarly, you have an operator called in and not in operators. So we have taken here two lists, L1 and L2. Whenever I say 2 in L1, this in operator, it is always going to return you a Boolean value, either true or false. So here L1, it consists of the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Whenever I say 2 in L1, because the element 2 is present in your list L1, it is displaying it as true. Similarly, whenever I say 21 in L2, because if you look at the elements of the list L2, it is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The 21 element is not present in your list. So it is giving it as false. Similarly, you can say, so whenever you use these operators L1 and L2, so you will be getting only the Boolean values, either true or false. I have taken here a string A and B. If you look at the two strings A and B, there is one more operator called is operator. So whenever I am trying to say print A is B, these two strings are equal here. So it is printing true. Okay, but I have taken here two lists, S1 and S2. If you observe, S1 is a string list and S2 is also a string list, which is containing the same content. In spite of that, whenever I say print S1 is S2, it displays false. Strings are always pointing to the same object. This will be your Viva question. Whenever you are trying to compare two strings, both the strings, they will be pointing to the same object location. That is the reason whenever you say is operator, it is giving as print A is B, it is printing as true. Whereas in list, both the lists are treated as two different objects. So whenever you apply a is operator on two lists, it is displaying it as false. Is that clear? Can you please make a note of this so that you can practice at home? C7 amma. Ikkada I have taken two strings A and B with the same content and I am using an operator is. This is your identity operator. Whenever I say here print A is B, it displays true because both the strings, they are pointing to the same object. That means these two strings are treated as identical by the compiler. That is the reason the output you are getting it as true. When I have taken two lists S1 and S2 with the same content, these two lists are not pointing to the same object. Rather, these two lists are treated as two different objects. Because of this reason, whenever I say print S1 is S2, it displays false. You please write out. Okay. Are you done? Can I move on to the next slide?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. I'll wait for you. "73, your video is off. 78 also your video off. Most of the people's videos are off. From tomorrow's class, I'm not going to warn you, rather, I'm going to put you absent. Naveen, Pranay, Rajiv, your video off. Mahmoud, Khalifa, please switch on your videos. Pratin Reddy, Pratibha, Pratibha, your video is still off. Meghnad, Khalifa, still your video off. Sai, Nitin, Revant, Raju, Pavan Teja, roll number C2, roll number C0, your video is off. I want everyone to switch on your videos, please. Roll number 82, still off. 87, 93, A0, A1. Coming back to the class, are you done? Can I move on to the next slide, please? 81, I cannot see you. Who is roll number 81?
Ma'am, that camera is problem, ma'am.
Okay. మీ వీడియో ఆఫ్ ఉంటే మాత్రం మీ పేరెంట్స్ కి వెళ్తుందమ్మా మెసేజ్. ప్లీజ్ డోంట్ మెస్ ఇట్ అప్. ఓకేనా? పేరెంట్స్ ఇన్వాల్వ్మెంట్ దాకా వెళ్ళకండి. Your parents has to write a note or call to the HOD ma'am. If your video is off for more than 2 minutes, your roll numbers will be noted down, please. Can I move on to the next slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, fine. So everyone, you are all done, right? So same thing. This is a membership operators in and not in. Same example, I have taken a list and this is your element. Whenever I say print A in X, because 20 is present in your list, it displays true. Similarly, print A in X is false because the value of your A is 25 here and 25 is not there in your list. So that is the reason it displays false. You have two operators, membership operators, that is your in and not in operators. So whenever I say A not in X, the value of your 45 not in. So what is this? This false because the 45 element is present in your list X. So that is the reason it displays here false. Okay. Similarly, whenever I have initialized the value of A to 40, and whenever I say A not in X, that 40 not in X, this is true. So that is the reason it is displaying here true. You need not copy this, it is the same. Okay. You can try both in and not in. Can I move on to the next slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, ఇప్పటిదాకా అన్ని చాలా సింపుల్ అమ్మా. This is the expression which we are going to use in our programs. Please concentrate. So we can use a for loop along with the list in this format. So we'll be using both a for loop and an if condition in your list. So the syntax will be expression for item in iterable if condition is true. Okay, na? So this is the syntax and you have to mug up this syntax. No choice. So you have to remember this syntax as it is. Here, the iterable can be any iterable object like a list or a tuple or a set. Okay, this iterable can be any object like a list, tuple, set, etc. Okay, first you just make a note of this syntax. In this example, I have taken a list 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. And I am trying to recreate another list by using the same expression. So here I plus 5, that means I is your iteration variable. Okay. And I am adding the value 5 to this iteration variable. So for I in, and I am trying to read the values from the input list, and my input list is here list 1. So whenever I try to display the newly formed list, that is print list 1, I'm going to get this output. It is 15, 25, 35, 45 and 55. It means that the value of 5 is added to each and every element of your list. And the whole process we are doing in a single step. Is it understood? These square brackets, because you are trying to output them into a list, this is mandatory for a list. Please observe there are no colons or semicolons in the whole expression. So this is the syntax which you have to follow. A list will be always represented by a set of square brackets, and all the elements in the list, they are separated by commas, and this is the syntax which you have to follow for a list. And the second statement here, what I am trying to do, I am trying to read all the values of the list using a for loop, and for each value I am trying to add a value of 5, and I am trying to recreate a new list. That means whatever the contents of your old list will be overwritten with the contents of the new list, and I am trying to display the list 1. Am I clear? Please respond. Is it understood or you want me to repeat?
Understood, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please switch on your videos. It will not be a problem. Okay. I want you to please make a note of this program, and I want you to execute this program. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you people to understand in the next class. All these are very simple programs. It will not take more than 15 minutes. Are you making a note of this?
Yes, ma'am.
Please, why I am insisting you to write is so that the syntax will be practiced if you write, because there will be a coordination between your brain and the hand. That is very important. That will happen only if you write. Everybody, please listen. First 10 roll numbers tomorrow, I want you to share your screens. I'll be calling you random numbers and you have to finish whatever is taught till today in the class. I want you to share your screen. Tomorrow I'll be calling random numbers from roll number 66 to 76. Please be prepared. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you done? Can I move on to the next slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See here, these are a few examples on the same list comprehension which you have done in the earlier slide. Here I am trying to print the list of even numbers. Okay, so list 1 I am trying to create using this for loop. See here, for this x is your expression. For I am taking this iteration variable, that is x, I am using a range function. Whenever I don't specify any initial index, it means that by default it will be taking the value from 0. So it will be from 0 to 19. Okay, and the step count will be 1. Each and every integer is read from the using this range function, and each and every variable, each and every element is checked against the condition if x modulus 2 is equals to 0. So whenever the x modulus 2 is, whenever this condition is true, that element will be copied into your list. That is your list 1. And I am trying to print here all the contents of the list 1. So initially, what are the things happening here? Please observe carefully. Using a range function, I am trying to read all the integers from 0 to 20. That means I will be reading each integer 0 till 19 with a step counter using this range function. And I'm making use of a for loop, and each element is read into your iterator variable, that is your x. Okay, and that x is checked against the condition x modulus 2 is equals to 0. So whenever this condition is true, that element of x is written into your list. And that list 1, the contents of your list 1 are displayed. So that is 0, 2, 4. So you are getting all the list of even numbers below 20. Am I clear, or you want me to repeat? Please respond. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Similarly, I have made use of the same list comprehension in the next example in order to compute the square of the numbers less than 10. Again, here also I am using a range function, and this range function is going to take the elements from 0 to 9 with a step count 1. Okay, and each and every element of the is taken into this, it is read using this for loop X. And here in this expression, I am trying to compute the square of the number. So I'm saying here the expression as X into X. So I'm trying to generate the square of the each number less than 10. So, and the resultant list is displayed using a print statement. Print list to, here you are going to get the list of all squares of the numbers less than 10. So that is 0, 1, 4, 9, 16 and so on till 9 square, that is 81. Is it clear? I want you people to respond, please.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Similarly, I have taken the cube of all the numbers in your list 3 in the next example, that is x into x is your expression, and I'm using a function called range. Range will be taking the elements from 0 to 9, and each element is read using your for loop. So for x in range of 10, so for each element x, this expression is computed, that is x cube. And all these elements are written to your list 3, and this list 3 is displayed here. So whatever the elements in the list 3 are nothing but the cube of the numbers. So that is 0, 1, that is 2 cube is 8, 3 cube 27, 4 cube 64, 5 cube 125 and so on. Am I clear, or you want me to repeat? Please observe the syntax. There are no any commas in the for loop or after the expression also. You have to maintain this syntax. And because we are trying to generate a list, you should always make use of a set of square brackets. Since range is a function, we should not use square brackets. We will be using a set of parentheses because range happens to be a function. There are no commas in between for and if. Please observe. I want you to make a note of these 3. I want you people to execute also. Are you making a note of it? Please respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can also use the x into 2 also, which we have already discussed this. Siddheshwar, you can give it. Khalifa, you still have problem with your video? I think you don't have any problem with your mic. You can speak. Yes, you can use Revant. Can I move on to the next slide? Nitin, Revant, Naveen, your videos are off. Ratan, Roll number 73. I want all of you to switch on your videos. C0, C2 also. A1, A6, B0. Tomorrow, I am not going to warn you. I am straight away putting you absent. Please remember that. Roll number 75 also. Roll number 87, roll number 89. Roll number 93. A6, B0. Are you done? Can I go, move on to the next slide? Please respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, see, I have taken a list called Celsius and I'm trying to convert whatever the list of values I have in this list into Fahrenheit. For this, I need a formula float 9/5 into x plus 32. It is standard. Hope you have done this in your mathematics, class 8 maths. Okay, now, so conversion of your Celsius into Fahrenheit, you have 9/5 into x plus 32. So here you are taking each value from your Celsius list using a for loop for x in Celsius and you are trying to compute an expression. This x is again multiplied with 9/5 fraction because 9 and 5 happen to be integers. You are typecasting them to float in order to get a float value. Hope you remember this. Whenever you are trying to divide two integers, the value will be, the accuracy of the value will be lost. That is the reason you have to typecast this to float. So float of 9/5 into x plus 32, it will convert each value of your list in the Celsius. It will be converted to Fahrenheit and you can display its corresponding list of Fahrenheit values. So if you observe the output of the list, you are going to get a float values. So you are again getting a new list here. Am I clear? Please respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to make a note of this. Who is this Khalifa? I want to see. Is your mic also not working, Khalifa? Still, Ratan, your video is off. 73, roll number 75. Nitin, roll number 83, your video is off. Raju, your video is off. Pavan Teja, roll number 71, your video is off. C0 and C2. Yeah, you can use any variable. It's not that you have to use X only. You can use any variable. It's a user defined. Okay. Siddheshwar. It's only a practice. We'll be making use of always I and X. You can use any variable. It's up to you. Are you done? Please respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I
Ma'am.
move on to the next slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So these are your methods which we'll be applying on your list. I'll be explaining each and every method in the next class. It's just a brief up. So list dot index, it always returns the first occurrence of the X. So whenever you say index of X, so its first occurrence index will be displayed. So whenever you say append of X, that value of X will be appended to your list. But I'll be explaining each and every method using an example in the next class. It's only a brief up. So what are the set of methods available? So whenever you want to insert any element into a list, you can insert that using insert function. And here I indicates in which index you want to insert that particular element. So that is insert I comma X. Similarly, you can also copy the list of elements into a new list using a copy function. There is one more method called extend, where you will be into this list, the content, whatever the contents of your list to, it will be appended to your list. Okay, and count of X will always count the element X, how many number of times it is repeated in your list. Similarly, remove is a method which is used to remove a particular element from your list. And this pop function, it always pops the last inserted element. A pop function, whenever you say pop, if you don't specify any element, so it will be popping the last recently inserted element into your list. If, for example, if your list is 10, 20, 30, last element is 30, so 30 will be popped from your list. Similarly, whenever you say sort on that list, all the elements in that list will be sorted in a ascending order. Whenever you use a reverse method on that list, all the sequence of the elements will be reversed in that list. Whenever you say clear, all the elements of the list will be cleared. So your list will become empty. So as we have discussed max and min functions, whenever you say max of the list, the maximum element of the list will be displayed. And similarly, the minimum of element, that is the smallest element of the list, will be displayed whenever you make use of the function min. This PPT I'm going to share you, okay? I'm going to mail you. But in the meanwhile, I want you people to implement all the programs, all the examples which we have discussed in today's class. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you people to understand the next class. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Meghnath, ఈ రోజు గేమ్స్ ఉందమ్మా మీకు?
Yes, ma'am.
ఓకే ఓకే. మోస్ట్లీ ఏ మ్యామ్ తీసుకోకపోతే అది లీజరే అవుతుంది. నాకు తెలియదమ్మా దాని గురించి. బికాస్ చాలా మంది మ్యామ్స్ కి మార్నింగ్ ఫస్ట్ అవర్ ఎవ్వరికి జరగలేదు. మీ 3 సెక్షన్స్ జరగలేదు ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ వాళ్ళకి. సో మేబీ ఇంకెవరైనా తీసుకుంటే నేను చెప్పలేను.
మ్యామ్ వద్దు
ఎవరైనా
మ్యామ్.
తీసుకోకపోతే ఇట్ విల్ బి ఏ లీజర్ ఫర్ యు.
వేసేయండి మ్యామ్, అందరికి అటెండెన్స్ వేసేయండి.
ఎందుకు వేయాలి అటెండెన్స్ అందరికి?
మ్యామ్ గేమ్స్ మ్యామ్.
పొద్దున అటెండెన్స్ వేస్తానమ్మా. పొద్దున తీసుకున్నా కదా అటెండెన్స్. 74 ఒక్కరే అబ్సెంట్. యాక్చువల్లీ ఈ పీరియడ్ అటెండెన్స్ తీసుకోవాలి నేను, స్ట్రిక్ట్లీ స్పీకింగ్ కదా. 55 మెంబర్స్, ఆల్మోస్ట్ 9 మెంబర్స్ ఆర్ అబ్సెంట్.
అవును మ్యామ్.
59 participants. So 5 are absent. కానీ మార్నింగ్ ఫస్ట్ పీరియడే పోస్ట్ చేయాలి కాబట్టి ఆల్రెడీ మీ అటెండెన్స్ పోస్ట్ చేశాను. ఎనీవే ప్లీజ్ స్విచ్ ఆన్ యువర్ కెమెరాస్, డోంట్ కాంప్లికేట్. అర్థమవుతుందా? ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ గో ఈజీ ఆన్ యూ చెప్తున్నాను, బికాస్ యు ఆర్ ఆల్ అండర్ సూపర్విజన్. ఏ రోల్ నెంబర్స్ అయితే వీడియో ఆఫ్ లో ఉందో ఎంబటే మీ పేరెంట్స్ కి మెసేజ్ వెళ్ళిపోతుందమ్మా. ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఏ జోక్. సో ఎలా ఉందమ్మా ఆన్లైన్ క్లాస్? ఎనీ సజెషన్స్? ఇంకా ఏదైనా బెటర్ గా ఉండడానికి? ఐ వాంట్ యూ పీపుల్ టు స్పీక్ ఫ్రమ్ యువర్ సైడ్. Is that okay? Is everything happening well or not? Or you want any suggestions? Please share with me. మీరు మాట్లాడకపోతే నాకు ఏం అర్థం కాదమ్మా.
ఎస్ మ్యామ్, గుడ్ మ్యామ్.
ఓకే, సో నో ఇంప్రూవ్మెంట్, ఎనీ సజెషన్స్? ఇలా కాదు ఇలా అలా ఏదన్నా ఉంటే మాత్రం ప్లీజ్ చెప్పండి అమ్మా. ఓకే, ఐ ట్రై టు ఇన్కార్పొరేట్. మీకు ఏ కన్సర్న్స్ ఉన్నా మీ సిఆర్స్ లేదంటే మీరు 1-to-1 కూడా నాకు మెసేజ్ చేయొచ్చమ్మా, నో ప్రాబ్లం.
Ma'am, we can, I mean, during class itself, we can do the program, right? When you're explaining.
అర్థం కాల, కొద్దిగా బిట్ లౌడర్.
మ్యామ్, అంటే మీరు ప్రోగ్రామ్ స్లైడ్స్ కింద చెప్తున్నారు కదా?
అవునమ్మా.
అదే ఐడియల్లో చెప్పేసి అయిపోతుంది మ్యామ్.
రేపటి నుంచి అలా చెప్పమంటారా? పోనీ ఫ్రమ్ నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ యూ వాంట్ మీ టు యూజ్ దట్ జూపిటర్ నోట్బుక్, రైట్?
సమ్ ఎడిటర్ మ్యామ్.
Some editor. Okay, fine. I'll try to do that. Just give me a couple of days.
Best, ma'am.
ఏంటమ్మా?
Jupyter notebook is best, ma'am.
Yeah. Jupyter notebook font size కూడా బాగుంది యాక్చువల్లీ. ఐడియల్లీ లో ఫాంట్ చాలా తక్కువ ఉంటుందమ్మా. సో అది ఐడియల్లీ లో ఏంటంటే బాగుంది యాక్చువల్లీ. ఇది పైథాన్ అదే జూపిటర్ నోట్బుక్ బాగుంది. ఐ విల్ ట్రై టు ఇంప్లిమెంట్ ఇట్. జస్ట్ గివ్ మీ, నేను ఆల్రెడీ అదేంటి డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకున్నానమ్మా. జస్ట్ గివ్ మీ a couple of days. Mostly by tomorrow or day after tomorrow I try to implement it. Okay
ma'am.
చెప్పండి. యా ప్లీజ్. సిమిలర్లీ ఐ వాంట్ యూ టు పార్టిసిపేట్ ప్లీజ్, లేదా చాలా కష్టం అవుతుంది. లాస్ట్ టైం కూడా ఈ కోవిడ్ బ్యాచ్ చాలా ప్రాబ్లం అయింది ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ లాంగ్వేజ్. ప్లీజ్ అలా చేసుకోవద్దు. రైట్ ఫ్రమ్ క్లాస్ 1 ప్లీజ్ ట్రై టు ఇంప్లిమెంట్. ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ టేక్ మోర్ దాన్ 15 minutes. And you also know you can parallelly also do it, but why I want you people to write is because you will be able to get habituated with the syntax. Okay, somebody is speaking. I think it's Pranjan, right? So can I leave? Any concerns? Please speak out.
Ma'am,
Yeah, please tell me.
in lab, will you help us in solving all these problems by Jupyter?
Sure. I'll help you out. I'll be there all the 3 hours. I'll be there in the virtual room. If you have any concerns, please come to me. Okay, please share your screen. Okay, it will not be any problem. It will be as usual. However, whatever the support you got in the physical mode, a similar support will be given even in the virtual mode. No issues. Because slightly, maybe tomorrow is first class, slightly there can be some problem, but from the next class it will not be there. Okay?
मैं भी निकल रहा हूँ, शायद इधर तू भी निकल जा. अरे निकल जा रे. 1:30 को है क्लास.